All right, welcome to the CIY Capital Daily NQ Recap. It's March 6th, and we're going to break down what really moved the market today and, more importantly, how you can get set up for tomorrow. Let's get right into it. So the big headline today was, of course, the February jobs report. Everyone was waiting for it. It drops this morning, and crickets. The market was surprisingly quiet, right? It really felt like this huge tug of war going on, with the jobs report on one side and something else, something bigger, pulling on the other. So that's the big question we got to answer. What was actually driving the price action today? And here's your answer. It wasn't the jobs report, not even close. The real driver today was weekend risk. With all the headlines about the escalating conflict in Iran, the big money, the institutions, they wanted absolutely nothing to do with holding big positions over the weekend. No way. They weren't going to risk a massive gap down on some Sunday night headline. And what's crazy is that this fear just completely vacuumed all the volatility out of the market. The jobs numbers came and went, and it was like they didn't even matter. Okay, so let's get to the charts and see where the battle was fought. This is it. This was the whole game today. The NQ was just completely stuck in a box. We had a really firm ceiling, a brick wall up at 25,250, and down below, the floor was holding strong at 24,990. Seriously, these were the only two levels that mattered. Everything in the middle, just noise. Go ahead and get these on your chart. All right, you can't just look at the NQ in a vacuum, right? You got to see how the neighbors are acting. And today, well, they were not helping things. You had the 10-year yield creeping up. You had oil pushing higher, getting into that $84 to $87 range. And the VIX, the fear gauge was staying stubbornly high, over 20. When you see all of this happening at once, it just adds a ton of pressure on tech and basically confirms what we already knew. Nobody wanted to take on risk today. So in a choppy, headline-driven market like this, how do you even trade? You don't guess, you don't gamble, you have a blueprint. This is what Ron Rose teaches day in and day out. It's a simple, professional system. You need a clear entry, you wait for the market to prove you right. You need a defined stop. You always know where you're getting out to protect your capital. And you need a logical target. You follow the system. It's about having a process, not trying to be a hero. And that brings us to the most important lesson of the day. What was the smartest trade? It's right here. It was going flat, getting out. In a market totally dominated by stuff you can't control, the number one job is to protect your capital. That means you do not, I repeat, you do not hold that weekend gap risk. End of story. And look, having a plan like this isn't just for one type of trader. It doesn't matter if you're a total beginner trying to figure this out, a pro who's been doing this for years, or someone trading a smaller account. The principles are the same. And that's exactly what CIY Capital's one-on-one coaching is all about. Ron works with you to build a plan that actually fits your life and your goals. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start trading with a real plan, it's time for an upgrade. Just head over to CIYcapital.com to get started. And that is a wrap for March 6th. The big takeaway? Sometimes the best trade is the one you don't take. Capital preservation is king when headline risk is this high. Now remember, this is all for education, never financial advice. Make sure you're following @Ron Rose Trading for the daily recap. We'll see you tomorrow.